Hello, welcome. Something is wrong with the... Why did this move? There we go. Sorry for the rough start. Here we are with week 1 of the playoffs. It's going to be the first cast of the week. Tomorrow's going to be another match, and it's going to be between USA... Oh no, sorry, it's going to be between Europe and Sweden. Starting off today, it's going to be Russia and Canada, and the winner is going to face off USA. The top 2 teams of the regular season had byes, USA and Poland. And Canada was the 3rd seed facing off against Russia, the 6th seed. And these are the matchups we're going to start off with: Lancer X and Red Duck. PvT on Eclipse. Now, Division B is also wrapping up this week, and we're going to have results for that later. But for now, we're just going to cover the first round of the playoffs. And let's jump right into game number 1. Alright, looks like that didn't work. There we go. Lancer X against Red Duck. The map is Eclipse, PvT. We have Red Duck, who also likes to play Protoss against Terran. And let's see, how's the audio? Someone tell me how it sounds. These two teams, Canada of course was actually the 2nd best team last season. They finished almost as the 2nd best team in the regular season, just a couple of points away from getting that automatic bye. We have Lancer X with a very fast scout, even before Pylon, and this is definitely a gas deal. Now this depot placement is so that he can sim city with the barracks and have a very nice wall. I don't think it's going to scout that incoming probe. Let's see if it does. He actually does see it. Lancer X just walking right over it. Does he get a gas in time? Looks like nope. Red Duck not even interested in blocking that. Of course, Terran doesn't have to block it, but if they do, Protoss basically gains nothing. But just an early scout. He can harass with this a little bit, but it's a lot of lost mine time. You see, he's only had 8 workers. There's a gateway from Lancer X. Now maybe Red Duck had a plan on this map. Some kind of bunker expand, some kind of strategy he thought out, and now he's not going to be able to do that. But losing your gas is not the end of the world. Protoss has to invest a lot to get the scout out this fast. 100 minerals going into that assimilator, and this is all lost mining time. Here we have the gateway. No gas quite yet. No immediate gas from Lancer X. This could be a Zealot expand, which is pretty good against this because Terran won't be able to punish with just the 1 barracks and no factory follow-up. Decent manner pylon. It's probably going to make it better because this depot is here. It's going to get in the way somewhat. Red Duck sees no gas, so he should know what's coming. And here's the first big investment from Red Duck. He's not going to just go right for that expansion. He's actually pulling off gas. I mean off minerals to kill this gas faster. And he eBay blocks Lancer X. And this is actually pretty smart because Lancer X wants to take a Nexus. This was given away by the fact that he never got a gas. Red Duck keeps making Marines. He's up to 3 already. Looks like he's not very much interested in getting that expansion up super quickly, prioritizing the gas. This is still going to be a quite fast Nexus from Lancer X in comparison to the Terran, but he's slowing down his tech a lot. Of course, he did gas steal, so it's not like Terran has really fast tech. And Terran's actually making even more Marines, more than fit in a bunker. 4 Marines in a bunker, Zealot can't run by. And we're going to see a factory from Red Duck. He's supply blocked here. This extra Marine actually really hurting him because it's going to slow down everything. His expansion timing. And now this one SCV that's not being built. And I don't see a depot anywhere in sight. SCV going for a scout, Zealot retreating. Very important to block that ramp as Protoss. And there's a command center from Red Duck. But again, this 26-26 is actually extremely painful. And I don't see any depots at all. Second factory even going down. This might just be an oversight there. I mean, there's a depot here actually now. I see it. It's about to be complete. There it is. Finally, Terran has some room to add. There's the first Dragoon. Dragoon range very delayed with this build, but he already has a Nexus up, and Terran's command center is quite far behind. This is almost as strong economically as a 12 Nex versus factory expand. And instant robo from Lancer X even before Dragoon range. This hidden probe here is a little bit curious. I doubt it's going to be for a Nexus. And Red Duck's expansion finally finishes up. Red Duck is one of the new players, I guess, in the scene. He participated in the NASL 3. He qualified, didn't advance out of his group, but that was like his first venture into foreign events. And now he participated in this event. I think he played in BSL, one of the lower leagues. Getting tanks in siege. He's completely safe from any kind of frontal attack with this bunker. Let's see what Lancer X follow-up is. Let's say shuttle, and with the shuttle, when the shuttle's halfway, you usually see a support bay, and there it is. Now Lancer X isn't hiding that at all. He does a little poke in there, but too many units. And I like this. It's only one tank. He should feel very secure, and he can get these vulture upgrades up very quickly afterwards. Armory Academy. Where is that armory? What the heck? I hope it's not in this bottom corner where I can't see anything. There it is. Already getting +1. Getting Goliath range is going to be very useful against the shuttle. And Lancer X setting up to take a third. Lancer X is on a very low unit count. He has 4 Dragoons and 1 Zealot, and he's already there, ready to take a third. But he's banking on the fact that this Reaver and shuttle will buy him a lot of time. He's going to have a moment of weakness here, but Zealot, Protoss can block off with pylon walls, and vultures become a lot less effective. So I like this. This is pretty interesting, getting speed and Goliath range. Goliath very good against the Reaver, and then speed very good for getting vultures out on the map to harass. And it's probably what Lancer X is doing is probably opening him up to some kind of harass with this low unit count and the faster Nexus. And there go out the vultures. Now third already pylon walled up. Maybe he can get into the natural, but Lancer X is positioning his units. He's going to be able to see this. And going into that third, there's no probes there. And looks like he runs in. This wall is not complete. A couple probes. 1 probe goes down. 2 probes. So about 5 probes went down. So 5 probes for 4 vultures, and he's making even more. He already has 4 Goliaths. He's making even more. 6 Goliaths. This is a number of Goliaths I've not seen very often. He did get also a full scout. He saw a shuttle Reaver, the number of gateways. He knows there's a third up, and he finally has some mines out. And because Lancer X went for shuttle Reaver, he's gonna be very low on the observer count. Let's see. Maybe he can mind trick some vultures through, but the shuttle is already here, and it's pretty easy to deal with these vultures once you have a Reaver. Finally mixing in some more tanks is going to be very necessary. Protoss can just make a ton of Dragoons, and Goliaths are very weak against everything other than shuttle and basically air units. in this matchup. Goliaths aren't good against much of anything. And we see double Stargate, so it's going to be a carrier follow-up, but he's delayed the +1 air. And here comes that shuttle just as Red Duck moves out. It's like the perfect time for Lancer X. No reaction yet from Red Duck. SCV is going down. Oh, this could be... No, okay. That would have been a very juicy Scarab. Really want to target the shuttle, not the Reaver with the Goliaths. But it looks like the shuttle with speed. Why is he staying here? Very ambitious play to stay in just even a second longer, and you lose that Reaver. But Lancer X simultaneously pressuring. It's going to be very hard for Terran to take his third base. It's only 2 tanks here, very exposed, and Lancer X sees this, and he's going to dive on them. Tank in the back. Not able to support these 2 front tanks, and now the tank count has been reduced. There's only 1 tank left. With the bunker, he's going to be fine, but good opportune pick up there for Lancer X. And it's going to hurt Terran's timing. And this is perfect because the last thing Lancer X wants is for Terran to attack. There's the scan on the double Stargate, but he doesn't see... Okay, there's a fleet beacon. So Red Duck knows everything. It's going to be very hard for him to take his third base. And he has all these Goliaths that don't really help him. Very good against dealing with the shuttle harass, but not much else. It's not going to help him push. It's not going to... it is going to help deal if there's some kind of Zealot bomb, but otherwise... Another Reaver from Lancer X. The shuttle is still alive, so it also has speed. It's worth it to just keep making Reavers. And we have a science facility and our second armory. Terran is powering up. Protost's air upgrades are a little bit lagging behind. But on this map, it's very hard to deal with carriers. This is a very strong carrier map. You have all these ramps where carriers shine. You have this impassable middle. Carriers can jump from one side to the other and really bother Goliaths from these high grounds. Every base is on a ramp on this map. This is the only one that's like below a ramp. And that's all good for carriers. Plus, they spawn cross naturally because it's a 2-player map. And Terran finally establishing that third. Really wants that third gas against carrier. Oh, nice harass from Lancer X. Against carriers, you really want to mine gas because you still want to make tanks and Goliaths. It's not tanks and vultures. So that third gas is absolutely crucial. Another nice SCV pickup. Well, now the shuttle's cornered. I still think this was worth it. All in all, it's buying Lancer X more time. It's hurting the Terran economy. Only now is Terran finally going to land that third command center. Still no third gas. Now, Red Duck is going to have very strong upgrades, and Lancer X is only now getting +1 ground. When you go carriers, you still want to mix in ground upgrades, at least +1. Because it's not like you're going to have an only carrier army. You're going to start mixing in Dragoon Zealot and then eventually High Templars. And you want them to be upgraded against Terran Mech. Terran Mech eventually is going to be 3-2. And if you have unupgraded ground army, it's not going to be very effective. Here we go. Lancer X finding a good hole in the defense of Red Duck. This could be a mistake though. This is a lot of Dragoons to commit. And SCVs are pretty beefy. You're not guaranteed to kill the command center or too many workers with this kind of play. Let's look at the carry count. Looks like we have 2 more in construction. Do we have any on the map? Where are they? He is delaying this third base even longer now. And he's double expanding behind this. His gateway count is not at such a high number, and this gateway Dragoons are going to get stuck if you mix any out of it. So losing this number of Dragoons is actually pretty important because he's only on the 7 gateways currently. 8 now. Terran only has 6 factory, and this is because Lancer X has been harassing very effectively throughout the game. This is a ton of pressure from Lancer X. Goon's finally gonna go down. We still have another shuttle and Reaver alive. I guess these are the first 2 carriers. They seem quite late. Alright, finally the Dragoon counterattack has been dealt with. And Red Duck can minus third base. We still have a shuttle, and it's going to go again for some shuttle harass with that Reaver. And there's no defense here, no anti-air. Instant reaction from Red Duck though. and not too many SCVs should go down here. The main also very exposed here. Goliaths are coming back, but SCVs retreat right in the reverse path. 6 go down with that one Scarab. Again, not the most effective reavers in the world, but in the meantime, look at what Lancer X has. He has tons of bases out on the map. He's building up his carrier fleet. He still has a significantly large ground army, but these double nexuses, like even if Red Duck kills a base, the fact that Lancer X's bases are so spread out is going to make it very hard for him to be able to kill 2. And Red Duck's still getting upgrades. That's what he's banking on here. If he can just establish that third base while getting these upgrades, eventually his 200 army, if he can get there, is going to be very potent, very scary, very hard to deal with. But again, just finding moments of weakness for Red Duck. But these are tanks on a ramp, and there's not too many zealots in this composition. Finally, we have 4 carriers, and with 4 carriers, you can finally start engaging with them. You have enough interceptors that they just don't die instantly to even a low number of Goliaths. And here we go. Here's Terran's push, but as you can see, he's only adding the 7th and 8th factories now. You really want to be pumping out units against carriers because there's going to be a ton of fight. 2-2 upgrades will help out a lot. And the carriers are slightly out of position. If it's just ground army versus the Terran mech, Red Duck should win. And looks like the carriers are just going to counterattack. This is a little bit interesting. It actually is pretty important. Like the gas count for Terran is very limited. So if these carriers just kill this gas, it's going to limit the amount of Goliaths Red Duck can make. But I think Lancer X is just going to forfeit any base and counter immediately. These carriers will soften up the defenses. Not a ton of mines here. Not many vultures were made because a lot of Goliaths were produced. And here's the counterattack. There's only 2 tanks here now. Bunker's still full of Marines. No tanks on the high ground critically. And Red Duck is just going all out. But the problem here is Terran isn't on so many bases that he can just afford to do this. He's going to lose his natural. Lancer X is going to be on top of his production. Recalls are very potent, and this is going to be effectively just as strong as a recall with carrier support. Now Lancer X is probably going to lose 3 bases here, but it's not going to matter. He still has this one in the bottom right, and Terran's not going to be able to produce any more units. This is his last army, basically. Lancer X just going back into his main, mixing in DTs. This is actually very annoying for Terran to deal with. Terran is going to have his attention split in these 3 locations, and they're not always going to be able to just scan their tanks. This is actually so many DTs. And there we go. We see 2, not even 3 Nexuses go down, but it's not going to matter. For us, it is on top of Terran's production. Terran's losing everything. And I think that's it. DT's cleaning out the last remnants of Red Duck's army. And he's going to be actually running out of scan now too. He only has the 1 scanner. And just a very nice executed play by Lancer X. Realize, alright, sure, I can lose these bases, but eventually you'll just hide in his main. And it doesn't matter if he loses 3 bases. He still has 1 in the bottom right. If you get on top of Terran's production like this, it's pretty much a GG anyway. And he only made the 4 carriers, so this is also a smart play. The only thing I would have liked if Lancer X kept getting ground army, but if you force Terran to make all these Goliaths, with only 4 carriers, it's a very heavy investment into anti-air. And Goliaths, like I mentioned before, are terrible against Protoss ground units. Against pure Zealot, I guess they're fine, but against Dragoons, they're just awful. And no GG, and with that, first point goes to Russia. Alright, let's see, everything's fine. Alright, so we're gonna go into the next match. It's gonna be Agio against DeWalt. And it's gonna be a PVZ on Fighting Spirit. I think DeWalt is a significant favorite here, but Agio mixes up things a lot. A very unique style. Very comfortable player mucking it up. And let's go right into this game. We have in the top left as the Brown Zerg, Drone Dance, aka Agio, representing Team Canada. And in the bottom left, we're going to have the Blue Protoss, DeWalt. Currently undefeated in this season of Nation Wars, hasn't lost a single set. I think that also includes like 3 aces, so very dependable player. And the map is Fighting Spirit. I think this is a pretty good map for Protoss, simply because every base has gas, and it's also very easy to defend those bases, lots of ramps. Agio going for that Natural Scout and Pylon Scout. So, likely going to be a Forge Fast Expand from DeWalt. We have a 9 pool from Agio. Now, this could be 9 pool speed, or this just should be 9 pool with a gas trick. And it's pretty important, the difference. 9 pool speed is very committed. And here we go. Let's see. Is this going to be cancelled? Yep. Yep. He's going to make that 1 extra drone. No, this is actually 9 pool speed from Agio. You have an Overlord being made. And DeWalt, is he going to double scout? Double scout. Pretty common on 4-player maps. He's going to scout Agio last, but it's still important because he's going to be able to scout that it's a 9 pool. And he should be able to react accordingly. Overload pops, and we're going to see 6 lings now. How many lings Agio makes is going to be very important. It's also going to be very important for DeWalt to see. Sees the Overlord in the main, already realizes it's 9 pool. Now he's going to see the gas. Drone's being pulled off gas. 2 cannons instantly thrown down. These cannons are going to be in time. And looks like it's going to be 2 more lings. Now Zerg could keep making lings here, but with this probe alive, Protoss can defend mass laying attacks pretty easily. And there we go. Drone going up to set up an expansion. Ling's going to run towards this natural, but with 2 cannons up, DeWalt should be able to easily defend. Zerg has to be very attentive not to lose any lings here. Looks like he's... Oh! This is already disastrous for Zerg. He loses 3 lings. What you really want to do is kill the probe and keep Protoss on edge. If Protoss doesn't know how many lings you have, how many you made, they're going to be very nervous. They're going to be playing blind and probably mix in defenses they don't need. Third cannon, probes blocking the wall. But with 3 probes, or 3 lings already going down, DeWalt's going to feel a lot more confident, a lot more safe. He's still blocking. He knows he has an advantage economically against Zerg that 9 pulled. And we have a 3rd hatch from Agio. He's still only making drones. He only made a few more lings. Nice ling spread to spot that scouting probe in case there is one. Doesn't have vision of the front here. And DeWalt getting his core, transferring towards Nat. Probably transferred a few too many workers. Agio not mining gas quite yet. And he's still making drones. But it looks like he actually made a few more lings. Up to 7, 9 lings. Now the Zealot, it's very delayed. You don't normally make the Zealot until after the Cybernetics core. So it's very important to keep these two probes blocking, because with speed, Lynx can run by easily and ignore the cannons. And Dragoon range. Lair from Aegyo. Now if this were a Stargate, how does Aegyo exactly defend from the early Corsairs with the lair this late? +1 also spinning. And there's that second gas. Third cannon also from DeWalt. And Aegyo's just droning up here. Looks like he's gonna hide his overlords. But he never actually got into the Protoss main, so he doesn't know what Protoss is doing. His only information is the timing of the +1. And the fact that he hasn't seen a Corsair. He only has 2 on gas. I guess he wanted more mineral income. And here DeWalt's second and third gateway. Third cannon because he's playing blind just for safety. And there we finally have the Spire from Aegyo. 4th patch going down at the natural, and still more drones. So this is going to pivot into what looks like a very normal build from Aegyo, but he's up against Protoss that skips Stargate, and he's getting a bunch of Dragoons. I think Aegyo has recovered wonderfully from the early game economic deficit. He's going to be able to pump out a ton of drones. He's already up to 5 hatch. Fortunately, he's playing with no information. I mean, so is DeWalt. They're both kind of just doing their own build. Cannon in the main, anti-muta. DeWalt really just doesn't know what's going on with these 3 cannons at the net and this extra one in the main. That's due to the fact that Aegyo had early link speed, and when Zerg has link speed, there's no way for Protoss to get out on the map safely. Dragoons are alright against mutas. So if this does turn into muta against Dragoon, looks like Aegyo is gonna make some mutas to start off. 2 creep colonies. I think he saw the number of Dragoons, and that's a strange number of Dragoons to see at this time in the game. Walt preparing for the mutas to come into his main. And like I said, Dragoons are actually pretty good against mutas. Their main weakness is that mutas have way more mobility. But Dragoons are perfectly, can go, 1 Dragoon beats 1 muta pretty easily. Here we go, Zealot heading into the third to scout. Might even get a drone here. It's very important for Aegyo to keep making drones. Looks like he's gonna hunt that little drone. Does he know where it is? Where is it? Looks like no, he's not able to. Aegyo needs to keep drones because these are 3 drones less that he's gonna have. And this is a ton of gateways from DeWalt. He's going up to 8 gateways. Skipping Stargate. Getting Zealot speed. So this is gonna be Zealot Dragoon. He already has an Archives. I guess the only fear here is that Aegyo can do whatever he wants, knowing there's no Corsairs, no incoming attack. The Walt's just playing defensively. The key here is to keep droning up, and this is a very healthy drone count. Evolution Chamber and Queen's Nest. So it's going to be Muta Ling from Aegyo. DT is out. Let's see how many kills. Already 5 kills. Muta's finally getting into the main. Sees a large number of gateways. Now he's got to find a good angle to retreat. He doesn't want to hang around here too long. And looks like there. He's just running away now. And the DT, I think, killed all the links that were scouting at the front. He did finally find a spot to use his mutas. Now, if Zerg is going to go Muta Ling and defend with Sunkens, Zerg is going to need a lot more Sunkens than this. The mutas don't really have that much DPS. The Lings don't really have much health. And if he's going to rely on Muta Ling, you really want to like not engage directly. And you're getting double upgrades. Well, he has double evolution chamber, but no gas quite yet for double upgrades. This base is pretty hard to attack because it's on a ramp. Protoss has a difficult time moving up with Dragoons. But this is easily breakable unless there's like, I don't know, 8 Sunkens here and Lings flanking. Lings can easily get stormed. And this is going to be so many Dragoons that it's going to be hard to pick off High Templars. 10 mutas now, and now the cannon's a little bit exposed, and it's awkward for Dragoons to get back here to defend. He doesn't have High Templars now, and Aegyo has to be very careful how he retreats. Hello, VIP. Welcome. Your team's cast is going to be tomorrow. And looks like he loses 2 muta there, but DeWalt's pinned in his base. Can't really move out until he has cannons. He really should leave some Dragoons here. And maybe even just the 1 High Templar. And 1 High Templar with cannons, very hard for mutas to be effective. So we have another macro hatch, and we're getting a Great Aspire. And looks like he's actually even taking a 4th base. This seems very risky. If Protoss is only on 2 base, and you're already up to Great Aspire, why do you need a 4th base? I'm very curious. Muta slightly out of position. No Overlord ever got here. Actually retreated because he thought Corsairs were coming out. And he has no vision of the Protoss front. Now these Lings will have crack, and they're probably going to have... Okay, looks like DeWalt's just moving out now. And the Great Aspire is almost done. Aegyo has to leave some mutas behind because DeWalt's moving out now. And this is enough Storm to kill all the Lings easily. And it's only 4 Sunkens. He really needs like 8 Sunkens. This base is an overextension. He's going to have a ton of Lings, but it's easy to deal with Lings when there's nothing else to support. And here the mutas are going to morph into Guardians. Just as DeWalt is attacking the front. Again, no Guardians here at all to help with this defense. He's trying to flank with Lings. There's 3 control groups of Lings, but that's how effective the Storm is. He also has +1 armor, and he's hitting just before the Ling upgrades kick in. Guardians are morphing out to natural. I mean, DeWalt's not going to be prepared for this at all either. But Zerg natural has been broken. There's still enough Dragoons here. Is he going to reinforce? I don't think this gets cleaned up. Guardian's still not done at the natural yet. We have double Stargate here from DeWalt. And why do we have double Stargate? I mean, I guess he's just assuming it's some kind of airplay because there's only Lings and Sunkens. +1 carry base just finally finished. DeWalt reinforcing with Zealots, and here are the Guardians. But like I said, double Stargate is going to be... There's no way he can defend this natural, but these Guardians are eventually going to go down. And you're losing his natural. His main is up next. There's no defense here at all. That's a very fat Storm. Gets 3 Guardians, another nice Storm. Actually, no, I whiffs. I missed most of everything. But Corsairs being made. And these Guardians are going to be undefended. There's no way Aegyo can get Scourge out while he's dealing with this attack. I mean, if Aegyo can hold somehow without losing his main, there's a way to come back, but... Here come Dragoons with Corsair support, and these Guardians are going to get cleaned up. There's 1 Storm left, but just too many units from Protoss here. Your Spire being targeted. Almost just enough defense, but I think the wall is going to be able to just make his Nexus. And he still has a large ground army advantage. He's going to keep scouting with these Corsairs, and pretty soon Aegyo is not going to have any anti-air whatsoever. He is remaking, well, actually he's making a Nidus, he's remaking the pool, he's going to need it for Sunkens. Are you still in Korea, Karenzi? I don't even know. The icing would be for DeWalt to be able to save this army. Have +2, so the Zealots will two-shot the Lings again. And here we go. Looks like the wall's gonna get caught below the ramp. Kind of an awkward spot. So nice, small victory here for Aegyo, being able to kill most of this army. But DeWalt can't just keep expanding, knowing that he killed 2 bases, 4 hatcheries worth of production from Zerg. And Zerg's not gonna have much in the way of anti-air. He only has a 1. Look, these overlords are just all undefended. He only has a 1 spore. He does finally clean up this army. DeWalt actually ran low, very low on minerals there. So good thing he's double expanding. And it looks like Zerg's options to come back in this game are running out. I mean, he's continuing upgrades, but maybe if DeWalt was down to just the 1 base. But there's nothing to do here. Yeah, he has 2 control groups of Lings and no anti-air. Alright, so what went wrong for Aegyo? Maybe if he had Guardians, maybe if he had more Sunkens. He definitely shouldn't have gone for a 4th base. But it was just a perfect timing from DeWalt before the upgrades finished, before the Guardians were out. For example, if these Guardians hit before DeWalt attacked, we'd be looking at a completely different game. Aegyo really wants to bite time a lot of the... Oh no, we have a DT. We have Overlords being shot at. DT already has 8 kills. Looks like it does go down, but here is DeWalt. He knows there's bases up on the top right. It's just gonna go counter. No threat of lurkers. I mean, if he had 4 more Sunkens and like 2 Guardians, I don't know. But it's just hard to tell. But the 4th base was just a mistake. +2. Lings still have 1 carrot base. Hydras without upgrades being added. And DeWalt leaves the game? What the heck? What happened? Alright, so what I think happened, because I checked their match list after this result, I think DeWalt disconnected. But Aegyo just gave the win to DeWalt because this is obviously losing for Zerg. There's no way to come back from this. So we're gonna have 2-0 Russia, and let's see what matches up next. Alright, next match is Cross against TTF. Neil Silford. Alright, let's see if I can get this transition right for once. Here we go, here we go. We have Cross in the top right, 12 o'clock spawn on Silphid. And in the bottom left, we have the magenta Terran TTF. TTF is a Russian player. I think he participated in at least a couple STPLs, BSLs, old school player. Alright, let's change the score. It's 2-0, even though DeWalt left first. It's 2-0 Russia. And then this is Crossy on another ID. Yeah, it's not TT1. I mean, he kind of plays like TT1. Goes mech in TVZ. Goes for 1-0 timings in TVP. A very similar player. Oh, we have that wall in. Terrans like to do. Pretty easy to get a barracks. Or it's depot, barracks, depot. And then it's a link tight wall. Very nice. Crossy going for the 9 pool. He really likes 9 pools. I've seen him do this against Zerg. I mean, against Protoss and Terran when he goes 9 pool gas trick. Let's see if that's what he's gonna go for this time. Yeah, TTF always goes mech. This is true. And that's why we're seeing this wall in. It's actually going to work out wonderfully because he's going to go up against a 9 pool. But, I mean, if you see a wall, why not just go 2-hatch Hydra? It's free pickings. What the heck was this SCV scout? Was it looking for the Overlord like 20 seconds too late? I think that's what happened there. And TTF just messing up his scouting pattern. Or timing, really. This Overlord is going to stay out of vision of this wall. And let's see. Alright. I mean, if Crossy went 2-hatch Hydra here, very hard for Terran. And actually, it looks like TTF is not even going mech. He's just going a wall with bio. I mean, the wall is going to work wonders against the Lynx. Lynx don't have range. Can a Korean confirm what this means? And we're going to have 6 Lings. And Crossy sees the wall, sees the 1 Marine being produced, and he should be pretty sad here now. Not really sure why he... I mean, as a Zerg, what's more important here? Denying the scout from Terran? Looks like we got the SCV. This is actually pretty close, but SCVs are OP, and we're going to repair. No problem. Losing a Ling, losing 2 Lings, so we got an SCV, and we're forcing repair. Not sure that's worth it. Going for Larry immediately. TTF, Command Center. So what is this? 9 Eddie? Oh, 9 Ri? What is this? What is this? Someone tell me. Looks like it's a clan. What clan? Natural about to be finished up. Yeah, I don't really understand why attack with the 6 Lings. If you can get a block at the natural, why not leave 2 Lings behind and go attack with 4? Crosshair already saw that there was no way he could get damage done. And this is actually pretty cute. He's lifting the barracks. And he's gonna go for this Overlord. And this Overlord can't actually hide from Marines here. So it's very awkward. Oh, it looks like he's gonna be able to escape because it's not like TTF can do this forever. So the farther this Overlord goes south, the harder it is for him to do this. And this is actually gonna be mech. Ling's dying, unfortunately. But this is mech. But this is just like the weakest version of mech, I think. Because you're not gonna have your armory is very delayed when you go for barracks expand and then go mech. And you still have to defend with units that you don't really want. At least with mech you open with that vulture, and that vulture gives you a lot of breathing room against Lings. TTF is getting that full scout. He sees the spire timing, it's about halfway done. Third hatch from Crossy. This will help. I mean, it's not going to be that useful in this game because there's no threat of vulture run-bys at all. But that's usually what you see it for. Crossy mining his gas pretty fast. And he's going to open up with mutas, but TTF's armory is so delayed, he's going to need a ton of turrets here to defend. He's actually making vultures here. Look how late this armory is. Spire is complete. Army's about halfway done. Actually getting vulture speed, so this wall is actually gonna help out. And I think TTF is just boned here, but let's see. Turrets going up. If he can get vultures in while Crossy's occupied with these turrets, maybe he can get something done. There's the army finally complete, and this is a ton of turrets going down. We still don't have any Goliaths. He's gonna want to mix in a few more vultures so he can effectively harass. 1 vulture, not that threatening. 2, probably not either. But 3, all of a sudden you can one-shot drones. Let's see, we have 5 mutas here, not enough to one-shot SCVs, but turrets only do half damage against mutas, so Crossy with 2 volleys can start hitting those SCVs. Going for the turret with such a low muta count, not worth it, but looks like he's waiting for 7. Now he can start one-shotting those SCVs. Brack's about to be lifted, so these vultures can run out. And first Goliath being added in, getting +1 weapons as well. And there we go, first SCV's going down. Looks like a missed volley there. And let's see, Crossy, is he going to be able to react in time? Looks like we have a creep to complete the wall. Can't let them get into the main, and I think this was worth it. Plus it forces the mutas to retreat. No! He didn't deal with the vulture. And then the extra drone goes down, okay. So that was a ton of economic damage, but we have Crossy already with 4 patch at the 3rd base. And it actually makes sense that TTF is getting +1 here, because it's going to make subsequent vulture harass much more effective. If you have +1 against drones with vultures, your vultures would 2-shot them instead of 3. So a nice synergy there in his build. And let's see. We have an exposed turret here. It's going to be repaired. Again, mutas can just ignore turrets and start hitting SCVs. Oh, couple missed volleys there. Looks like there's something going on here with that turret where it really messes up the AI. Vultures goes to the 3rd, see nothing there, and now they're going to be able to get at least a couple drones here if they target well. Trading 2 vultures for 2 drones, I think it's worth it. What happened here? I missed it. TTF's problem here is he doesn't have that much in the way of economy, and his production is going to be very late as a result. In the meantime, Crossy can keep droning up. He's getting +1 weapons. Why +1 weapons against mech? I have no idea. I would actually like to know, because +1 armor makes it so that you reduce the incoming attack by 2, because Goliaths have 2 missiles that fire out. They each do 10 damage. So every armor upgrade, it scales better because it reduces the incoming damage twice. Creep colony is going to help with the vulture harass. Again, the vultures don't really care about 1 second, they just run behind. You really want to block the ramp. You're saying it reduces it by 1? That's incorrect. It reduces it by 1 twice. That's what I mean. Like, if you don't get this armor upgrade, let's say, ignore this +4, because it's only plus whatever. If the Goliaths have no upgrades and neither do your mutas, you're going to take 10 damage. 5 twice. But if you get armor, that's 4 twice. That's 8 damage. So armor is just way more effective. I don't think that's correct. I think it does 8. Because a Goliath is like a Zealot. It has 2 attacks, not just 1. Like, we're gonna see it. Are you sure? Are you sure? Let's see. Let's see. I can't tell. It's tagging too fast. And so that Muna got shot once and it was at 109. So that means it did 12 and then healed instantly. Okay, first Goliath timing is gonna get cleaned up here. And easy defense. Okay, we're not gonna be able to prove it, Striker. The only way I can see it if it's I freeze it before the second missile hits, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna do 6 twice, not 12 at once. Do you know what I mean? Nice counter harass here from TTF, he really needs to hurt the Zerg economy before he can do anything in this game. Muta is small unit. Yeah, Muta is small. Definitely small. Okay, but I'm pretty sure this is what doesn't make sense to me. I'm pretty sure when a Goliath shoots, it shoots twice. So it's like a Zealot when you get +1 armor on your links. It affects it twice. Right, here we go. Nice harass from Crossy. This is a ton of damage done, and really? Okay, he has +1 armor now. Here we go. We have +1 armor. Crap. I gotta freeze frame this. Alright, come on. I just want to see this. I mean, this turret doesn't help at all. It does 9 damage. The turret actually does 9.5 damage when mutas have 1. Okay, can we at least agree that the mutas take 9.5 damage with 1 armor against turrets? Just please say yes. You have a tank here, and this is only to pressure the Sunkens, because eventually Zerg can get Sunkens up, and Goliaths are quite bad against Sunkens, and combined with mutas you can easily defend a large number of Goliaths, so this one tank will put some pressure on. Unfortunately for TTF, he's not scaling well into late game. Can't get more upgrades when he doesn't have a starport, and he's not getting a 3rd base. There we have the one tank finally putting on some pressure, and this is when Crossy's transitioning to Hydras. Here we go. From the back, the Hydras are coming in. Mutas dive right on that tank, and the Hydras have +1 weapons. Goliaths only have 1/1, and just too many Hydras. Okay, so turrets do 9.5. Let's see a Goliath fire. Alright, come on. Come on. No. This Muta has 114. Let's see if it gets hit. It doesn't get hit. The other one got hit. TTF is in a really rough spot because at any moment Zerg can transition from Hydra to Muta, and actually we do have a starport and we do already have vessels, but no upgrades in this army and no 3rd gas. I mean, he wants to take this farther away one, but because it's better, it's just easier, it lasts longer, it has a better gas, but this base is much easier to defend with mech. So 11 mutas out from Crossy, so you can still harass him. Let's see, he's getting +2 weapons. Queen's Nest is done. What is this? This is Queen Energy, right? So he's gonna get some queens, mix them up. And here we have 3rd Nexus, or 3rd Command Center being cancelled. Very interesting turret placement here. We finally have +2 weapons, and we're seeing more vultures mixed in, but it's very hard to harass now. Oh, I'm missing the attack. Muta's harassing even more. Looks like I lost the chat. Give me 1 second. And again, no 3rd from TTF, so again, this is just a better 3rd to take with mech. There's no way for him to get out on the map to defend this one. And while normally you don't want to take that third, it's just the only option here in this game. And we still have a ton of mutas out on the map. And Crossy behind us is getting all kinds of upgrades. He's getting Queen Energy. He hasn't made a single Queen yet. 3 Evolution Chambers. There's the first Queen, I think. Alright, I just want to see a muta being attacked. I don't care about this game anymore. Crossy's just too far ahead. Okay, it looks like +2 is actually about to finish. So what happens now? I don't even know. I think it doesn't work anymore. Vulture's going in for some more harass. Okay, if I can freeze the frame where one Goliath missile hits and another hasn't, will that be enough information? Because all I need to do is prove that this is a multi-attack. Like the Zealots, like the... I mean, what else has multi-attacks? Is that it? Is it only Goliaths and Zealots? I feel like I'm missing another unit. Oh, Irradiate. Nice Irradiate. Okay, let's see. Okay, so every time a muta got hit, it went down by like 6 or 7. So it went down by 6 or 7. So that means Goliaths do have a multi-attack. So that means I'm right? Because fractured damage, well, the way fractured damage is, it'll alternate. It'll always do whatever the fraction is. So, for example, if a Hydra gets hit by a Goliath that has +1, it won't. Okay, that's way too complicated. Let's do a small unit. If a Marine is hit by a Hydra does 11. Let's say it only has +1. It's gonna do 5.5 every time. But the way it registers on the unit health, it'll only show 5 and then 6 and then 5 and then 6. So if a Goliath does 11 over 2, it'll just alternate between what's half of 11 and a half? I don't even know. This is a terrible tangent. Well, basically now we finally have TTF establishing some bases, and it's very hard for Zerg to attack with just ground army now. And mutas aren't going to be that effective because there's vessels out, but we do have Crossy's trump card. Well, he's going to have a ton of economy, but here we go. Here are the queens. And now, this isn't the best place to hide queens because if I'm a Terran, I just scan here. You can hide them in the forest over here. But it doesn't really matter. Now, Crossy's attacking. He's going in before the queens are ready. I mean, he's going to lose a ton of Hydras here, but he has so much production, so much economy. It's not going to matter, I don't think. It's also allowing the queens to clone from very far away. A ton of the tanks go down. And there we go, it finally got killed. Bases get killed. Crossy's establishing more map presence, and TTF is back down on 2 bases. Alright, I'm very curious. Well, queens are medium sized, right? That's it. Crap, I can't tell too fast. He really wanted to infest that command center. Alright, overlords are large. Let's see, overlords are large. Crap, how is it so fast? Literally can't tell. Queens are large? Well, Crossy busting through, not the most efficient attack, but he just has too much. And we finally do see that infested command center. Nice play by Crossy. Infested command center goes down. And let's look at the tank count now. It has been reduced, but there's not much for Terran to do here. He's still getting upgrades. Someone open up the Wikipedia and like post Goliath attack here. I just need to know are Goliaths like Zealots with their multi-attack? Because nothing else matters really. I just need that confirmation. Well, TTF is going to have this one last attack here. Crossy not really ready to engage there. He's getting... Some of his units are getting caught. Army supplies are actually pretty close. There's a large worker deficit here for TTF. Canada, Canada, Canada. If TT1 really wanted to support Canada, why didn't he play? That's what I want to know. Spanish someone? Sí, se habla español, pero hoy el cast en inglés. Mañana será el cast en español. Crossy not ready quite yet. Looks like maybe he's waiting for queens. No, these were just recently made. And this is a slow push going across the map. I mean, this is getting pretty far actually. And looks like Crossy's gonna come in as these tanks were undefended for just a second. +3 finishes for these Hydras. And while the tanks are actually gonna defend this quite easily, it looks like this base is actually under threat of going down, but Crossy, I don't think it matters. What does he have in production? Even more Hydras. He still has these queens hiding. And the hatchery does go down. And now maybe... Let's see. Well, there's no defense here at all. Damn, this might just end the game here. Too many Hydras going for that counterattack. And TTF isn't mining here. But he actually loses the den. And he's going to lose yet another base. He still has this very healthy mineral only. And we do still have some queens left. But this is actually pretty close, all things considered. Like, I thought this game was over. I mean, I've seen Crossy lose worse games. I don't know if you saw when he lost to Dragon on Polypoid. Dragon was like on one base, and Crossy just kept attacking, suicided his entire army 3 times. Stayed on 29 drones. I don't know. But looks like with these queens, tanks are undefended. Looks like he's gonna clean up the mines so his broodlings can get some more damage with his Hydras. Crossy is Canadian. I mean, he's Korean Canadian, which still counts. No problem there. But this is like the most effective. Look at these tanks. Look at the kill counts on these tanks. And the queens come in again. And another counterattack with the Hydras, and I think that's it. But nice effort from TTF. He was able to get something done with this attack that went across the map. And there's the GG, so first point for Canada. And we're going to head into 2v2. So very nice game. 2-1. Let's go. No bias here. No bias. No, it's best of 1. Still best of 1. Let's see, let's see. Alright, so the map is actually Iron Curtain. It's going to be TZ against TZ. Slowest analysis, I'll do that on my own time. Okay. Oh boy, here we go, here we go. Alright, so everyone look at the 2v2, we have Sting Silver against Aegyo Whip. Let me just read the chat. Goliath does 20 damage. This is correct. But actually against Muta, it doesn't do 20, right? It does 10 because it's reduced damage because mutas are small. It's explosive damage. But the Goliath has a multi-attack. It shoots 2 missiles, each doing 10 damage. But they actually do 5 damage against mutas, so it's 5 times 2. Right? If I'm wrong on that, then I'm wrong. Alright, let's go into the 2v2. And okay, so we have Terran Zerg, and they're both spawning on the same side. So we have Team Canada on the left, and we have Team Russia on the right. Map is Iron Curtain. Look at the map really quick in case you're not familiar. Impassable terrain in the middle, so air is pretty strong on this map. And why are they speaking English? This is so strange to me. $15cc. I go 1 hatch lair. Okay, interesting strat. Gold drop. Let's see what Team Russia. I think Team Russia's on the mic. No, actually, we have Canada's replay. That's why we don't see Russian chat. Don't think that's a spoiler though. We are well aware of all the tricks people do to get ahead of the cast. Alright, so Terran's gonna go 15cc. This should be a 12 pool lair. No, looks like it's gonna be a 9 pool lair. Not even an overgas. And what do we have on the other side? We have an Overlord from Silver. And, I mean, Stink can comfortably get away with Command Center first as well. Same site so rare. Does someone want to calculate the odds of same site spawns on this map? I feel like it's 1/3. Am I wrong? Like, because if you spawn here, your ally's gonna spawn. Yeah, that's not that rare. Alright, finally agree on something. I still think I'm right about the muta carapace, but I will analyze it in slow. On my own time. That's what I do for fun. Casting, you know, it's a job. I don't do it for fun, but analyzing replays in the slowest setting. Alright, there's a 15 Command Center. Wait. This is 14 Command Center. 15 Command Center is another build, but I guess it just meant Command Center first. There we have the hatch first from Silver, and we have some kind of mech opening from Sting. Spawning the middle, sometimes Terran. Okay, so this is gonna lift this factory, get it on the other side of the map, and this is actually pretty clever. One way to bypass the fact that you can't get across via ground is just to make buildings really close. And because Zerg is going for 1 hatch lair, not gonna have any units. Terran also going for a Command Center first, not gonna have any units. Reverse blast damage calculated. Alright, I'm pretty sure, I'm just kidding. But it's the way all splash damage is calculated. Right where it hits, it's full. Like a little area outside of it is 50, and a little area even further out is 25% damage. Spire from our Zerg player. And it's gonna mean, alright, let's see the timing of the Spire. It's gonna mean Silver is gonna have to get anti-air in the way of spores. It's making a sunken, very strange. It's like trying to get across with that. Now, how much damage is this vulture gonna do? Team Canada not prepared at all for this. You really want to scout the mineral patches in the middle of the map. Oh man. And he's actually not even going with the first vulture, and this is actually very threatening. I mean, you really should go with 2. Shouldn't wait for more. Okay, there we go. He's gonna float it back to the other side. Nice. The effectiveness of this vulture is strongest when they're immediately revealed. After that, the other team will prepare, and they're coming in just as the mutas start morphing, and drones are being targeted. These drones will go down with 3 hits. You see the follow-up from Sting, 3 Factory Goliath. So he's not gonna go drop immediately, and It makes sense because he's investing in these vultures. It's a very heavy investment into units that don't do much other than right now, basically. And they're doing a ton. He's going to lower Aegyo's economy. It's only 7 drones now. And then let's see, 4 and 6. 6 total kills on drones. I'm not sure why he retreated there. He really could have gotten 2 more drones. Well, now we're in a scenario where one Zerg is way stronger than the other, and one Terran is way stronger than the other. But that usually favors the Terran team because a 2-base Terran is just stronger than a 2-base Zerg. Aegyo also an expansion up, but he can't really utilize it. Why is there a tank? This is so confusing. Why is there a tank? So we have something built there, and we do have a starport. Eventually, you do need to get across to the other side. Floating barracks here. And Aegyo just droning up. Overlord finally spotted. It's gonna be tricky for Aegyo because Silver's gonna have more mutas, and that's usually is not what happens when you go hatch first. And Aegyo doesn't really want to make spores. It's gonna weaken his economy even further. And here come the mutas from Sting, immediately going to Aegyo's base. Does Aegyo sense this is happening? We have a scouting vulture. It's actually pretty key. Aegyo is gonna go back to his base. Terran getting an expansion up. 3 Goliath or 3 factory pump. +1. It's not actually that important. It helps, of course, but not a big deal to not get that immediately. Neither Terran going for that. We do have Goliath range finally being researched. But how is the blue side Terran gonna get across the map? Because eventually you do need actually in this matchup, what happens if neither team wants to cross? It's like Silver. Actually, they have the same number of mutas. And let's look at the upgrades. Both Zergs getting +1 carapace. Okay, so in Muta versus Muta, carapace is definitely much better because a Muta attacks 3 times, and each time that damage is reduced. Right, Striker? Can we agree on that? Alright, we have a Muta dance here. Another player who really wants to engage alone. Oh, actually, come on. Hit the right Muta. Hit the one I'm picking. I can't see anything. I mean, the one tank, the only thing the tank allows is for you to mine the space first, but we're not at that point yet in the game. Now, Whip only has 3 factories because he's getting drop chips, and he's making a lot of tanks. Tanks are very good against Goliath, but if you lose the air battle, your tanks become useless, so you don't want to mix in too many tanks on this map. Come on. Show me. Alright, I saw it. 33, 28, 23. So, every time a Goliath hit a Muta, it actually hit twice. I am correct. I win. I'm gonna write a thread on Wikipedia about this. I still think I'm right. Oh, nice turrets from... So this is basically the same effect as Spores. But Terran has way more economy, so he's helping out his ally there. Here we go. We have the first sign of Terran being able to get across the map. And these tanks actually do support. Oh, this is cute. Both Terrans doing it at the same time. And let's just look. Whip is actually not as far ahead as I thought he would be against Sting. And Well, Silver's still ahead of Aegyo. H to me. Help, help, help. Goliath drop here incoming. And Silver with some Goliath support. He actually has enough to fight here. Both Zergs are at +1 carapace, but these 3 Goliaths make the difference. Oh, we have some dropships. Gotta be careful. We have a counterattack from Whip, but with these Sunkens up, he shouldn't be able to accomplish much. I mean, Aegyo's taking a ton of damage here. The Spire actually went down, and he says good because they... Okay, so this is actually very important. Silver hung around too long, and he's going to be forced to retreat, so Aegyo is going to have the Muta lead, even though he lost the Spire. And Whip cleans up the last remnants of Sting's army. And here we have Aegyo. This very aggressive play from Aegyo. He still has the Muta advantage. It's only 2 Goliaths on the ground. They could just ignore the Goliaths and target the Mutas. Do we have the Spire being remade? Yes, we do. What's going to happen here? This is actually very important. Silver needs to prioritize getting +2 carapace, because Aegyo's +2 is going to be quite far behind. And let's see. This is 10 mutas. Aegyo still has more than 1 control group. And we do have Whip crossing to the other side of the map. Well, this is so many tanks now from Sting. He got those 2 add-ons very quickly. Still only 1 add-on from Whip. Not the cleanest macro. You'd rather have the extra factories. And it's going to come down to who can mine this 3rd gas, I think. Unless... Well, they really have to attack together here. And see Sting's mutas, or Sting's tanks moving forward. Silver's mutas coming in to support. And actually, I think Team Russia's in big trouble, because the air dominance will be on Canada's side. The Canadian team still has more mutas here, I think. We do have +2 finally being researched, but it's for Aegyo. Silver not getting that upgrade. I mean, this is interesting because this position is actually... Oh, we have Valkyrie. We have Valkyrie, but... Which team is... this is Canada, Korea team. And we have a nice drop here. Actually, 2 tanks here. Yeah, what I was saying is it's not very important to attack Terran head-on. Terran already has tanks. I really thought they would just contain Terran and then go hit Zerg. Terran also has drops. And he's mixing in Valkyries. This is actually very scary though, because the Valkyries will splash the mutas also, depending on where the rockets go. Take. Okay, so I think Aegyo's telling him to take this space. Very important to get that 3rd gas. I don't think you can copy paste anything on Africa, right? Scourge being mixed in. These are just to get rid of the Valkyries. We're up to 3 Valkyries now. Oh, nice drop here. Missed this. 4 dropships, so very big investment. And now, well, Terran's in big trouble. Terran can't help out Zerg. We do have a counter drop here with 4 Goliaths and mostly Valkyries. Scourge being picked off. And these Valkyries don't have upgrades. And this is crazy. Both players scouting or countering each other. Silver panic adding spores to defend. But now we have Terran with too many tanks, and this is what I was talking about. Too many tanks, you lose the air battle, and you lose the game. Aegyo's mutas killing everything from Silver. Now Aegyo's also going to lose his main, but he's not going to lose his natural as well. Silver down to 1 drone. Hey, yo, able to keep most of the drones alive here at the natural. And again, we have Whip. Why is he taking that base? This is so much better, but it looks like with these tanks coming across. I actually think if Whip... I mean, it's interesting because you don't want any Goliaths basically against Terran, but you still need them alive for the mutas. But if you're Zerg... Okay, so Silver dies. This is actually massive because Silver still had mutas to help out. And now that he can't, it's just impossible. Basically, it's impossible because this Terran's still going to need anti-air, while Whip won't need any at all. And there we go. Goliath going down, Muna's on top of the tanks, or Valkyrie's going down, dropship's going down. In the meantime, I mean, they're going to clean this up, but they could just go to the base. And GG, so very nice game, and Canada ties it up. And we're going to go to the next match. Let's see what that is, I already forgot. Looks like we have Grind Boss against Whip. So TVT on Optimizer. Alright, so again, the winner of this faces off against USA. It actually came down. It came down to the wire in the last week. It was either going to be USA or Canada as a 2 seed. It's actually pretty important because the 2 seed doesn't have to play the first week. And USA beat Canada out by 1 point, or I think 2 points. So winner of this gets the reward of USA. Alright, come on, come on. Here we go, we have a TVT. I closed the wrong thing. On Optimizer, in the bottom left, we have Grind Boss, aka Casper, representing Team Russia as the blue Terran. And in the bottom right, we're going to have the red Terran Whip, representing Team Canada. Interesting map. We're probably going to see some kind of airplay. Horizontal spawns. We do have these middle thirds in the middle of the map that are easily dropped. How much damage do Goliaths do to +1 armor Wraiths? Striker, answer this question, please. We need Striker in the chat. I'm gonna say it's 22, right? 22. Alright, double gas map. Wait, what? Oh, no, right. So 20, 18. Alright, so we both agree. Why don't we agree on mutas? What the heck? Very fast SUV heading out. This is probably going to be a forward barracks, not necessarily anything aggressive. And Whip making barracks and gas in his main. So it looks like mirror build so far. You always want to take the top gas on Optimizer. First time I play on this map, I just took the bottom gas. I guess in this matchup, it's actually pretty interesting. You get a gas boost. You can get that third gas up slightly faster than you would on a normal map, and start mixing in things that you normally couldn't afford. Okay, I can tell I'm being trolled in the chat. I will admit I'm wrong. I just need to see it, because I've been thinking the whole time it was one thing. I need confirmation from testing it out. You gotta see it with your own eyes. Alright, Whip pulling off gas after getting 100. Casper is doing the same. We have factories being added in the main second depot. Don't really make too many Marines, just the 1 or maximum 2. Whip, unfortunately, getting that last scout. See. Whip has 3 more SCVs, and now 1 was a scout, right? 1 was that scouting SCV, because Casper lost his, but why does he have way more? Well, and Casper is making more Marines, and he's going Vulture first, not add-on. No expansion yet. Whip getting that expansion immediately. He also made 2 Marines. 2 Marines is pretty standard. Now 3 or 4, not standard at all. If Whip can see this with his SCV, it's going to be telling that there's an attack incoming. All I know for Zerg regen is a Zerg unit gets hit and it instantly regens. That's why Vulture's 3-shot drones and 2-shot probes. I mean, this is a pretty easy defense for Whip if he just keeps making Vultures, and it's actually very important that he saw that the barracks was still producing. Now he's going to have enough units here. Because normally this would be 3 Marines and 1 Vulture against 2 Marines and 1 Vulture, but here's that second Vulture coming in just in time, man. Very easy defense now. Now the Marines, actually, the Vultures have to be careful. Vultures are very frail. Marines fire very fast. But here comes Casper's second Vulture, and good thing for Whip that he kept making units. And I think the investment in the extra Marine paid off there because expansion delayed. Still going to be quite slower than Whip's. Here we have the armory. No add-ons yet. What? 3rd factory, okay. And we have a starport and 1 add-on from Grand Boss. So Grand Boss is actually going to have way less units. And going Vulture into Goliath like this is actually pretty strong if the opponent opens like Casper did. Now I'm interested to see what he gets out of this add-on. And there we have the army almost complete. He's not making any units. He wants to make 3 Goliaths right at once. We have some pressure. Oh, what happened here? I missed this. Looks like Whip did some kind of move around, and he avoided Casper's units, and now he's countering attack, and it's going to actually be very effective because even though this 1 tank and 2 Vultures, no defense here, there's going to be Goliaths coming out. Actually, no, he's making a tank and more Vultures. He really wants to deal with this. I mean, he got to counterattack first, so he's going to be able to do more damage right away. Like, come on, what's going on? Here we go, Wraith coming back. Wraith, again, not going to help much. Not much damage via ground. And here we have the defense from Whip. He can just defend with 1 tank against 1 tank. Vultures don't have any upgrades. Again, the Wraith helps out, but it's so slow at actually doing damage. And Whip was able to deal with the attack better. And I think Casper is boned. Again, he's making Vultures, but they're not going to help out without any mines or speed. I think Whip's just going to push across the map. He has 1 Goliath. That's enough to deal with a Wraith. And even if he didn't have this Goliath, just 1 Wraith, not going to be able to do much. We even have a barracks landing to annoy. Yeah, this 1 tank is killer now. Mine's about halfway done. Just not going to have enough time. Where's the Wraith? Here again, Wraith counterattack, but not even a threat. If this barracks can maybe block, I don't know. Give him some more time, but even making a Marine here. And the Wraith is going to be taken down by 1 Goliath. Okay, so, crap. Ignore me. I'm not going to mention it again. We know the Goliath attacks twice. And there's a no GG from Casper, and that actually means Canada is 1 point away from winning, and we have Canada's captain coming up. It's actually going to be a PVZ on Polypoid's Dragon against Gornich. Dragon gonna win? Do you guys remember that Liquipedia like edition where you can search players' matchups and like how often they played against each other? What's their record? Is this the best Protoss in Canada? I think this is the only Protoss in Canada. Are there others? I'm not really sure. Alright, let's go. Match point potentially here. It's going to be a huge match. I mean, this is basically the season for Russia. Gornich is their second strongest player, I would say. And we have Dragon representing Team Canada in the bottom right. Map is Polypoid, and he's playing in the color red. And in the top right, we have Gornich as the blue Zerg, representing Team Russia. Alright, for all the marbles here. Looks like we have a pylon being made at the natural. This is, whoa, this is going back into the main. Is this actually going to be one gate from Dragon? What am I seeing here? No pylon scout? No pylon scout 300 APM? Is this TT1? Oh, come on, what is this? Okay, so we have a gateway expand from Dragon. Going to scout Gornich first, and we have an overpull from Gornich. And let's see. Gateway expand from Dragon, not something he does very often, but he likes to mix things up every now and then. If Team Canada needed a win against Gornich, I don't think they would use TT1 based on some BSL results. I'm just kidding. One way I know it's Dragon is the only Protoss I know that makes pylons like this. Most Protoss will make the pylon under the gas, but Dragon always makes it like this. That's how I know it's him. It's like the easiest tell. Wasn't able to deny a natural. Gornich forced to take that mineral only, but the third base mineral only is very close here, so you don't actually lose that much making it there. Now Gornich didn't drone scout, so I like that Dragon is actually keeping his Zealot somewhat back. He's just keeping it back. He doesn't want to reveal that he's going one gate until the very last second. If Zerg is just going to keep joining up, but we have another set of links being made blindly. It's very interesting. I mean, there's no difference really. Bro, it's still alive, and Gornich is just going out on the map. And now he's making drones, and this is what I'm talking about. He's making these drones, but he's gonna need Zealots. Zerglings if Dragon decides to move out. Alright, it's 5 Zerglings, and I mean, Dragon's just playing defensively here. I'm not really sure why. Now the Lings are at his front, and he can't attack. I feel like he missed an opportunity there. Oh. Forge almost done. Gas going up. Gornich is going to need links now, but he's still not making any. He's going to have 3 hatch soon, so that'll give him some extra production. And here we go. He's moving out with 4 Zealots and 1 probe. Not waiting for that 5th zealot to come out. Not waiting for that cannon either. And Gornich is adding lings. Now, Dragon should just hit the 3rd here. Oh, looks like we had the bear going down. Dragon should definitely hit the 3rd here. Like, there's drones at that 3rd base. How many lings is this? Looks like we're going up to 10 lings. 4 zealots enough to deal with that. But he's going into the main. I don't understand why this is doing it. He should really go. Like, he's committing. He's over committing here. Now he's indecisive. 5th zealot should go to the 3rd at least. While Zerg is occupied here. Let's look back at home. Cannon's going up. Cybernetics core as well. And the zealot's finally engaging. But this is a terrible engagement. He's getting completely surrounded. Can't get behind the mineral lines. Zealot at the 3rd. Not going to be accomplishing much either. Not worth it, not worth it. I mean, he could have gone behind the mineral lines. He could have just gone straight for the 3rd. And then... I mean, just anything other than that. Oh, this is actually a very good spot. Only 1 link can engage here. 2 times worker, yes, but Zerg has 3 hatcheries and can drone up freely now. Looks like we have a ling run by. Oh, how did I miss this? How did Dragon not block? Oh, but looks like not the best use of the lings. Already losing 1. He's gotta keep these alive as long as possible. And behind this, Gorn's just droning up, catching up in drone count. He does have 3 hatcheries worth. Oh, that's pretty easy. Oh, crap. Getting those gas drones as well. Very juicy targets. Cannon's done, so he's gonna throw away these links. And importantly, he scouts Dragon's build. And I'm surprised he's still going Hydrogen. Why doesn't he make a lair immediately? Very curious. I mean, the response to this is lair and then sunken ling defense. But if he intends to defend with Hydras, I think he's in very big trouble. Alright, looks like we're almost at 7 minutes. And this is usually a good good point in the game to count how many workers Protoss actually has. Because you want to be at minimum 40 probes here. You can probably get up to 45, 47 if you don't miss a beat, even with Gateway Expand, but Dragon is at 36. Zerg's economy is very strong. Looks like we're missing 1 drone at the natural. We're getting that evolution chamber. Hydra speed. 2nd cannon from Dragon. And he's gonna go up in gateways now. And usually when the archives is done and you start adding those high Templars, and when you see that big gateway boost or boom from Protoss. They have that mineral influx. Six hatch for Gornich. 33 drones, very healthy economy here. And there's a Hydro Pump. And let's see, it's gonna be 8 Zealots. But you can see his timing has been delayed. +1's done. Speed just finished. And here we go. This is only 2 gateway pressure, not 4 gate speed lot. Gornich is making a drone here. Really want to kill the links before you engage the Hydras, but Gornich is buying time here. Very nice sunken placement here. Not enough units though for the defense. Drones will help out here, but like I said, this is just not... let's see how this fight actually turns out. You really want to engage the Lings, not the Hydras with the Zealots. Lings will die in 2 hits, and Lings actually have more DPS than the Hydras as well. But all in all, I think that's a good trade for Dragon. He still keeps 3 Zealots alive. He's going up in gateways now. He's finally stopped making probes, and this is a very nice number to stop at, 44. And he's going up in gateways. We're already at 3, 6, 7 gateways. He's getting +1 armor as well. The problem is he's not going to be able to scout, so he actually doesn't know what Gornich is doing with his lair tech. He doesn't know if Gornich went a Spire immediately after Lair. So he's just gonna have to guess here. 8 gateways from Dragon. No Dragoon range quite yet. No Robo either. Yeah, this is actually still... I mean, it's fine for Dragon. There's a Robo, I think, at the natural. Let's see. Yep, Robo, and then Dragoon range. Pretty normal stuff. Gornich with the counter pressure. He only droned up a little bit after holding off that attack. He's lacking a few drones here. Overload speed on the way. It's going to help him take this 4th base against DT. Help him counterattack because the Dragon made 1 DT. It's very hard to counter pressure with these Hydralisk. Start droning up now, but I think Dragon is comfortable here. Again, that engagement was actually very good. It could have been better if he killed off the Lynx first, but he forced a Sunken, traded well, kept some Zealots alive. Gotta be careful moving out with this High Templar Zealot composition because he can get caught from behind, and these High Templars are very exposed. This game, I'm pretty sure, was played earlier today, and this is what I'm talking about. 2 High Templars completely for free here from Dragon. This is why I hate as Protoss moving out. Zerg has way more ability to pick off the High Templars, and this is all the High Templars. We only have 1 left. Storm. First Storm goes off. Bit of a whiff. Dragon finally adding those Dragoons. But if we look, okay, he still has High Templars. I thought he wouldn't have any. It's +1 armor as well. He's getting +2 weapons. Gornich finally taking his 4th base. Still no lurkers, and now getting +2. No mutas either. Of course, he doesn't have a 3rd gas. Alright, we have someone asking what? Zealot High Templar timing is just very hard to execute. Now if Dragon moved out with 18 Zealots, he can't really kill a Zerg, but you still force the same reaction from Zerg where they have to make units. And then you keep your High Templars back. It just seems really risky to move out before you have Dragoons. But it did at least force Gornich to keep making units. He's been at this 38 drone number for a very long time. And here we go. We have the Dragoons moving out. And Gornich is now adding those lurkers. Dragon not leaving a Zealot. Like if he's going to take a 3rd now with this probe, maybe take some mineral only. Looks like he is going to go for that mineral only. And this is... looks like the probe actually gets caught. Nice counterattack by Gornich. Polyport is a map where it's very hard to attack if it gets to a certain point, because you have to attack either a choke, a ramp, or another ramp. Very awkward. Dragon moving in with the Zealots, not what you want to do. This is only about 8 Dragoons, not a ton. You can't just sit back and shoot with the Dragoons and High Templars here. We have this flanking Hydra army that's incoming. Dragon has to be careful not to get sandwiched here. But I think he sensed this, or he knew this was there, and he just retreats, cleans that up. Does he have any Storm? Looks like we have 73 energy High Templar. Big key here is that Dragon still doesn't have this 3rd base. Main is drying up. Dragon is in a position now where he has to double expand. And again, as a Protoss, you never want to do this. You never want to send a probe to take a 3rd base. You want to send units to support it. Gornich's 4th base, 4th base is actually quite late. Protoss really needs to double expand here because pretty soon main and natural will be mined out. And if Dragon's going to be doing this kind of movement to go for that 4th base, you can see how hard it is for him to defend this mineral only. Gornich could just counterattack. Finally had a drone around there, but if Dragon can get to that 4th base before Gornich has lurkers up on that ramp. What? Looks like not a very clean attack there. Oh, very nice Storm. Very low on High Templars now. This one has 2 storms. We're down to 2 storms here. Double expand for Protoss. Really don't want to cannon up heavily if you can get away with it. And looks like he's going to attack through the other path. Nice egg block at the ramp. Gornish is it's gonna give Gornish time to set up his defenses now. This is where Protoss sends 12 Zealots into Zerg main and the game ends. But very nice repositioning from Gornish. Gornish still on lair tech. But this is a map where now, oh, okay, looks like Dragon is going to keep expanding. He does have entire map control. It's probably a good engagement for Gornish. He's on the ramp. Not too many Zealots here. Decent Hydra sped. Storms do go off. These lurkers just finish. They get stormed instantly. Zealots coming in for the flank, but it's not very organized from Dragon and actually loses a ton of supply there. No further upgrades from Dragon. And usually when Zerg stays on lair this long, one of the ways it goes poorly for them is they start falling behind on upgrades. But Dragon doesn't have a second forge. He only has the one, and it's not even upgrading here. Well, another thing is Dragon has 4 bases, but he only has the 8 gateways. He's making a ton of cannons. Finally getting +3. This is actually a big, I guess his economy wasn't strong. He needed to double expand, but missing upgrades really hurts his Protoss. It's only the 1 forge, and now he gets a second one. But after 2 weapons, he didn't continue upgrading. So I have this probe here, can take that base. And now suddenly the supplies are getting very, very close. I don't remember. I think Storm is 14 times 7, something like that. So it hits 7 times, each time 14, ignoring armor. Okay, Dreamer says 14 times 8. That sounds correct. I mean, this is only the 9th gateway now from Dragon. He's leaving High Templars at his bases. This is very smart to deal with counterattacks. And this is what I'm talking about, this map. Eventually it gets to the point where it's very hard to attack. And if you're Protoss, you really have to pivot just from frontal assaults. You want to start mixing in storm drops. Keep expanding, which he's doing. Very late high from Zerg, that means his upgrades are going to be late as well. But he has established a very nice economy with 53 drones. He's taking a top left base. And there's no good base for Dragon to attack here. If he goes to top left, his army's way out of position. If he goes to 12, there's a ramp. This is the high ground. Not too many lurkers from the left side. I guess his best angle of engagement is coming like this. But we do have Sunkens and lurkers here. I'm too zoomed out. Let's zoom in. So it looks like Dragon just wants to take another base, but I'm not seeing that additional robos. I'm not seeing the support bay. Alright, looks like he wants to hit 12, but another nice egg block. And oh, Storm! Please, Storm! Look at this fat clump of lurkers here. I just gotta come in a choke now. Another good opportunity to storm. Looks like Dragon wants to go up the ramp, and looks like he found a weakness in the defense here. If he can beat Zerg to the spot, storms become way more powerful. Looks like his Dragoons are dumb, blocking his own units from coming up. It allows Gornich to get in position, and the Overlords get the Observers get sniped. This is a very tense moment for Gornich. He has to defend, but you don't really want to like just suicide your army if Protoss is in a good position here. Looks like the units, way too many units got stuck on the low ground. The Observers actually all went down. I think eventually Gornich will clean this up. Archons now morphed. +3 Archons will one-shot Lings regardless of the Lings' carapace defense. But Dragon does eventually get cleaned up. He didn't kill too many drones, but he killed a ton of army there. And now that actually opens up a path for Dragon to attack top left as well. If he wants. I mean, I think he wants to hit 12. Taking the mineral only, and I mean, the minerals are nice, but Dragon's gonna run out of gas pretty soon. You never want to be on 2 mineral onlys as Protoss. Didn't go to top left. Now he's gonna try, but just with 2 lurkers, I think. Oh, if he can trap him and storm him, nice. Too many High Templars, maybe. You kind of want to mix in Archons. In small army engagements, the Archons are actually a lot more powerful. And it looks like we're just going to top left with everything now. Storms, we need storms. Gornich also sending everything to top left, and looks like he's just gonna hold off. 12 has no defense. I mean, the Dragon has the opportunity to attack, he just needs to organize better. Alright, there we go. We're going to 12 again, but too many High Templars. Imagine if he just had 2 Archons, how much beefier his army would be. Nice storm there. Gornich with the drone pull. I don't think this army will kill a base, but pulling away the drones is smart. Don't want to have them stormed. Another nice storm there. And now we have a big upgrade advantage for Dragon. See, he's not double upgrading from the forges. And let's see Gornich's economy. He still has the main and natural. Actually, he only has the natural. Mineral only, about to mine out. If Dragon pivots to stop attacking and harassing, this game is definitely over, because Gornich is gonna have all his drones on 2 bases. You just trade your High Templars for the minerals of Zerg. Gornich has basically no economy. He has good drone count, but he doesn't have enough mineral patches. Alternatively, Drag could just keep expanding. It's not like Gornich can counter pressure at any point. It's interesting, but I don't think this is that terrible for Zerg. I feel like Protoss feels like he's way ahead, so just keep attacking. Go, 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 attack, attack, attack. Alright, not the base. No Knight is here. Drag sees it, but Lurker's on the ramp. Very hard to attack. 12 again. There's nothing here at 12. Maybe this is the base to go. Archon Zealot's still quite strong against Lings when they only have 1 carapace. And Dragon just keeps expanding. I mean, maybe too many cannons, but just playing it safe. Only way I see Dragon losing right now is the Doom drop in his main. Still doesn't have Reavers. I mean, it's just perplexing really not to get that the shuttle. I mean, if you want to hit this base, why not do it via storm drops? It's a lot easier. Yeah, here we go. We're trying to break up this ramp, utilizing Storm on lurkers. We're down to 1 High Templar with 2 Storms. We're reinforcing with High Templar, something you never want to see. But if Drag can just split the map, eventually Gornich will run out of minerals. So, I mean, he has a lot of freedom to do whatever he wants here. Gornich sees the bad news. Bottom left is established. Probe saying sent over. Man, where's... Okay, we still only have the 1 robo. Okay, finally a lull in the action. Defiler, I mean, I didn't even mention this. We're only seeing defilers now. And let's look at Gornich's economy. So he's still... Now he's getting a 3rd base, and this is actually pretty important. His main finally mined out. And Drag is in no position to deny us. His army is mostly Zealots, some High Templars to support, and 1 Archon, but not the best army at engaging lurker fields. You also don't want to add Dragoons. Wait, here we go. Not that many lurkers. So Zealots just walk right up and can kill them and effectively deny the space. Every time I look at Drag's rally, okay, we're finally adding more gateways. Still no robos. Let's look at the upgrades. Looks like Gornich has caught up somewhat. We have 2 Toolings, 2 Hydras. And Dragon's army gets cleaned up again. 3-3, but no shield quite yet. I mean, this has been like a small battle for this base for like the last 10 minutes. Oh. How many High Templars have we seen just behind the army get picked off? So we're down to 2 bases. Dragon still has 1, 2, 3, 4. But not the greatest 5. Not the greatest engagements at any point, really. Gornich is just holding off barely. You can see his money being kept very low because of the lack of economy. But we do finally have Defilers, and Defilers are probably the most cost-efficient unit in the game. The amount of damage they can do with Plague to make the rest of your army better. Support with Dark Swarm. I mean, Archons are nice, but Reavers, where are the Reavers? And if not Reavers, at least Shuttles with speed. Like, you can do damage with your attacks, or you can do damage with Storm Drops. It's not like Gornich is prepared at all to defend these 2 bases. His economy is very low. Dragon's kept on the pressure, but he hasn't been trading efficiently. So even though he has more bases, more mining than Zerg, this is way too close. Alright, again, it's not going to matter if Dragon can split the map, but he's making it hard on himself by not getting those Reavers. We did have 2 mineral onlys taken, and that makes it a lot harder to... Like, what Drag's doing with all these High Templars. Like, every time he loses a High Templar, it hurts even more because he has 2 mineral onlys. Again, Zealot High Templar, not the best army here. If he can get close enough to the Nidus, he can storm the Zerg army as it comes out. Nice storms, but again, once the storm runs out, you only have Zealots and High Templars. You can't really push forward with that army. Taking this base is nice because it's also coverage for drop. Okay, now we're starting to see the effects of Gornich being on 2 base for this long. Some Archons being added. The more Archons there are, the more scary the army becomes for Protoss. Oh, that's such a massive plague. Like this entire army of Zealots is gonna be red now. This High Templar should probably be moved to this base. This one probably too. It's very hard for Zerg to hit 6 o'clock. Left side of the map is very well defended. Finally see a second robo. First shuttle of the game. Gonna pop out at 30 minutes. Looks like we had another plague, and while Dragon's supply looks massive, these aren't even half-life Zealots. These are a third. Like, moving in with this, they're just gonna die instantly. 3 lurkers will kill 20 Zealots if they've all been plagued. Another plague goes off. Unfortunately, plague mostly already plague Zealots. But one thing that happens with plague is that it aggroes your units, because plague is basically an attack. If you plague army that's just standing there, they will react like it was an attack and start chasing that defiler, and that often leads to units heading towards lurker fields. I mean, Gornich hasn't attacked at all. Not a single time has Gornich attacked. One, he hasn't been able to, but he's just realized his best option is to defend, and just be as cost efficient as possible. He hasn't even tried small drops. Dragon is so well defended at every base. It wouldn't have worked, but that's just the kind of game it's been. And this is a very good map for Zerg to defend. Dragon is going to be 1 base ahead, even if Gornich establishes this one. Okay, where's that shuttle? Okay, first Reaver. Okay, this is what Dragon needs to do. I mean, I feel like we're on a timer here for Gornich to do something. Okay, shuttle has Reaver. Do we have shuttle speed? Yes, we do. Also want to get some High Templars in there, maybe. Oh, here comes a counterattack from Gornich. Lurker, Swarm. No Reavers at this base quite yet. There's a Robo here, but Dragon will supply block. He's at max supply. Storm helping out. Looks like the shuttle's gonna head to defend 3 o'clock. Will it get there in time? You see the Lings are on top of the cannons. Zealots finally arriving. Robo's also arriving, but Dragon really shouldn't try to defend this with his entire army. He should be using that army elsewhere. Where's that Reaver? Reaver is out. Nice swarm there. This is a ton of lurkers that are very well spread out, and Dragon has to retreat there. You can storm and then go in, but you don't want to head in before the lurkers have been softened up. There's no detection here, so the lurkers are just still wailing away. Plague? Oh, another nice plague. Shuttle, Robo, both Reavers as well. I mean, Dragon wants to do something. Look at how many High Templars this is. All full energy. Oh man, looks like this base is actually gonna go down. Gornich can keep reinforcing that position. It's like a counter at the mineral only. Drag's attention is going to be split. He can storm and defend this, but if he's elsewhere, looking elsewhere at this moment, cannons just die like they're nothing. And looks like the mineral only is going to go down. Dragon is occupied here. He's also occupied at 3 o'clock, but is he going to be able to defend? Now Gornich is going to have to look to defend the mineral only. That's what I'm saying. High Templars are so hard to utilize. Like, having 20 Storms is no better than having 10. You want Archons and you want Reavers. Reavers also hard to utilize though. We have mostly Hydras here, so not the most effective units. But again, Dragon losing his army. He also lost a base here. Not the most important mineral only that was mining out. He was able to, well, looks like the attack is still ongoing with this one lurker. But he hasn't lost 3 o'clock yet. Okay, so let's look at the bases. Dragon is down to these 2 bases. Mineral only has been killed. 3, I won't count it until it's safe. Gornich has 1, 2, 3 bases of his own. 12 o'clock mined out. Looks like we're gonna have another fat plague here. Oh, what a disaster. Monster plague there from Gornich. Like, let's see how many zealots this actually is. They got plagued. So we have 9 zealots plagued. 9 times 100, 900. Subtract 2, I guess, for every zealot. But 900 damage. On top of the fact that plague ignores armor. So these are only shield zealots. And it's actually pretty important because now a Hydra will kill this zealot in what? 6-7 hits as opposed to the normal 25-30. Because Hydras, what, they do 10, subtract 1, they do 4.5 damage to zealots, 4.5, going into 100. That's a ton of hits, but now it's all ignored because of plague. That's why plague, I think plague is actually the strongest spell in the game. It's ridiculous how much damage one plague that did. 900 damage. Looks like 12 o'clock is finally gonna go down, but gas is even depleted. Not that important. Dragon can still get a ton of damage done with storm drops. I mean, when you're thinking about PvZ in the late game, you want to be as efficient as possible. And what's more efficient than a 50 mineral unit killing 4 or 5 drones? Do you know what I mean? Plague, and now the lurkers, bro, they are clumped. Actually, this is very dicey for Drag. He doesn't have a retreat path, and it's very hard for him to reinforce as well. That's what I'm saying. We need those storm drops. Storm drop top left, storm drop the middle only. You can do all 3 at once. Now Gornich is taking 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden this is looking grim for Dragon. Now, if Dragon is cost efficient with his units, it's hard for Zerg to win because naturally Protoss is more cost efficient. But when they start utilizing things like Plague and you're not getting Reavers, you're not mixing in enough Archons, you're staying on High Templar Zealot for too long, then all of a sudden things start to look different. Because in a game this long where Protoss has been a base ahead, for the supplies to be this close, it's perplexing that Zerg has been so cost efficient this game. Okay, this could be another disastrous attack. Look how many High Templars. There's no Archons. Only Zealots to support. Okay, it looks like it was a trade and the Archons are going to be saved. Nope. Everything dies. Okay, let's look at Protoss's gas bank. So we have 2 gases and everything else is depleted. So this is about 3 gas Protoss. Still very nice. One thing I want to mention is how bad Zealots are at this point in the game. Plague neutralizes them. They lose straight up in cost effectiveness to Cracklings. They're bad against Lurkers, bad against Hydras. So every time you see a Zealot, just think 2 Zealots could be 1 Reaver in mineral cost. Dragon has only been using the Reavers defensively this game, never as part of his attacks, never in harass. Like, this is yet again another army that can't really engage well. finally some storm drops. Here we go. Gorinch's economy, not that great. One storm goes off. Only gets the one high Templar. There we go. We got three drones with that one high Templar. Nice. 7-second storm drop. We have 3 storms on this one. Scourge gonna kill this shuttle, but this is well worth it for Protoss. Maybe storm somewhere else and then storm yourself, but very nice drop from Dragon. That's a ton of drones that Gornich doesn't want to make. You see these drones that are being made now? Zerg doesn't want to make these. And again, now we're going in with a Reaver. Oh, pick it up, go somewhere else. And just keep doing this, rinse and repeat, never attack again. You're still mining these bases. I mean, this mineral only is gonna come crucial, but only much later. Attacking in StarCraft. Defending is usually more cost efficient. So if you keep attacking, it can backfire. So now we're seeing Dragon switch gears. He's going into a more defensive game plan, and only as a reaction to losing map control. But I think if he had done this earlier, he'd be in a better position now. I wonder if most of you guys have seen that one game. It was Larva against Bisu on Jade, where the map was split evenly on bases, and Bisu mined out and he typed GG because Larva still had one mining base left. And it just goes to show you how defensive Zeri can be way more cost efficient than an aggressive Protoss. Okay, here we have an engagement from Drag. His army is coming in. He did get some nice storms off, but most of his zealots again going down right away. We have one Archon, we have 2 Reavers in the back, some Dragoons being mixed in. Once the storms runs out, all of a sudden this army starts to look a lot weaker. Gornich is flooding. He has a ton of production. I think he's going to be able to clean this up. Okay, Dragon still has minerals, but we're getting pretty low. Gornich has this very healthy base. Dragon still has 3 bases for the next couple of minutes, but soon he's going to be on 1. Gornich has a very healthy mineral only. These bases top left are still alright, and he has his fresh new base at 9 o'clock. And here we go, another drop. He's got to be careful with the Scourge. Gornich is well prepared for this kind of play. And what's coming out of these gateways? Like, that's what's most concerning to me, is if Protoss keeps making zealots. We saw another game on the flip side of that. I think it was Eon against Bonif on Sylphid, where Eon just kept attacking, and Bonif didn't do anything other than defend and harass, and he was just so cost efficient with his harass that Eon lost all momentum he had in the game, and eventually got rolled over by Protoss that wasn't on such a strong economy, but because his was destroyed. Like, it just goes to show that Protoss that incorporates those those speed shuttles and harasses, maybe it's just not something Dragon is used to, but here we finally see he's back in the supply lead, and he's mixing in more Archons. We have, if he can get an army with Archon, Zealot, High Templar, and 4 Reavers, then that's way harder for Zerg to engage. Let's say we're building up towards something like that. Observer goes down. High Templar moves forward. 3 storms on this side. What? Storm again, storm again. Okay, so these are very small battles in a very long game now. But Dragon is building up for another big death ball. He's basically out of gas now. Oh, hello, Caster Muse. I missed you in the chat. I missed the final. I was at work. I did see the other semi-final with Ample and Piano. Very nice last game with the drops on Plasma. But I don't know who won the final. Oh, this is looking much better for Dragon. This is what I'm talking about. Look, the 4 readers, but again, the plague is huge. Damages everything. Look how fast those zealots die. Problem is, Dragon doesn't want to make these zealots, but he can't really spend his money otherwise. He could mix in more reavers, but it's a hassle to like incorporate the reavers into your army, bringing them over with shuttles. And Gornich is already remaxed or going towards that, and he's going to be able to reinforce his position right away. Reavers moving forward. The last thing you want to see is retreating them now. He's got to pick them up with these shuttles and bring them back. But that was actually a monstrous amount of splash for Dragon with the storms and the reavers. Dragon, reinforce your reavers. I think he's gonna lose all his reavers now. He's not reinforcing the position quite fast enough. He's not picking up the reavers and running away. And now we're left with Gateway Army, Dragoon Zealot against Hive Zerg. No splash left. And this supply is actually deceptive because Gornich has a way stronger army. He still has Defilers to Plague. And the Protoss army is grouping up, and here we go. We're gonna see a Fat Plague again. Oh, disgusting. But in the meantime, Dragon did actually get far enough out to take this middle only. He needs to move these units over to defend that base because he's currently cut off with his main army. Yeah, we still have a ton of storms here. Another Fat Plague. I mean, Plague is actually better than Storm. It doesn't kill, but not losing the units doesn't matter. You're gonna lose them in the next fight. Or I should say, not killing the units doesn't matter because Protoss is gonna lose them immediately in the next fight. And the Dragon has a nice supply lead here, but his army is cut off. There's about 40 supply here on the right side, and the Reavers are unprotected. 2 don't have Scarabs. None of the Reavers have Scarabs. What a disaster. He loses 3 Reavers. He's gonna lose this base now. He's leaving a ton of army at like outlying bases that he needs to unify. I mean, Gornich, let's look. He's not using lurkers anymore. Lurkers are pretty hard to attack with. He's only using Hydroling, and it's making it easier for him to attack. Again, look how much over this army is plagued. Base is denied again. Dragon needs to bring these. I mean, he has the shuttles, but they're just lost on the map. These get often unhotkeeyed and then hard to find them in this moment. Alright, Gornich coming in for the flank. Zealots again, mostly plagued, so that's why they're dying so quickly. I mean, Dragon has so much army that he's not utilizing. And he types GG. Oh, I want to say it was premature. Gornich doesn't have mining, but like how many minerals are left here? 700. He's gonna have to take this base. He lost his army. What does he have? I mean, he still has army here. Eventually, he's gonna run out of Scarabs. He's gonna distance mine. How much is left here? I think Zerg is still way ahead, but crap. All right, we're going to an ace match. Alright, guess the ace match. Write it in the chat. Who do you think is gonna place the ace? Who is playing the ace? Canada against Russia, 3-3. Winner goes into semifinals. Loser, season's over. Write everyone in the chat. I will be right back. Just 1 minute. Alright. I'm back. And whoever guessed the Wild Dragon, I don't think it was a guess. I think Striker knew. Because that's who we have playing in the ace match. And no surprise here. I mean, DeWalt has played every ace match for Canada. Canada has had, I think, 3 different aces: Dragon, Crossy, and... No, I think those have been their 2 aces. Dragon, of course, ZVPs, doesn't play PvP. DeWalt, one of 3 undefeated players this season with Bonif and Ultra. I think he's 14-0, and it was only 11 weeks. So for him to go 14-0 in 11 weeks, 11 matches, he'd had to play in 3 aces. So we're now in his 4th ace. Can he continue his undefeated streak? I think DeWalt gonna go for 10 gate. 10 gate. Dragon, meanwhile, going for an Overlord. No pool quite yet. It's probably gonna be an 11 hatch. Good map for 11 hatch. No, 12 hatch, so even more bold. And this was a 10 gate, not a 9 gate. Probe coming out now. Not gonna be able to block this hatchery. Oh, what a last match. Canada had it right there. Alright, here we go. Let's focus in. DeWalt getting that scout. Queues up 2 zealots right away. Now, the Overlord does take a while to get across the map. Dragon not even drone scouting. That probe scout he saw come out. If Dragon is really paying attention, he should know that's a 10 scout, and there's no reason for Protoss to get a 10 forge, so... Well, now he sees the Zealot, so he knows anyway. Very low HP drone, should make the gas. Oh, come on. Where is it? Dragon going for that 3rd hatch at the 3rd. And he's making lings right away. Delaying that 3rd gas because it's not so important to get your tech up immediately. You will want link speed. There's the gas, and he's making it with that low HP drone, so very clean. So going right to the 3rd. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. I guess the drone that was mining this patch went elsewhere, and that's why we're not seeing it. Making Overlord at the natural. DeWalt only sent out 2 zealots, kept the 3rd one back at home. And Dragon able to get that surround before the zealots get behind the middle line. He's actually still making more lings. Because of course he doesn't know. Well, actually he does know. He has full vision of DeWalt's natural. So this is a ton of lings to make against 1 gate, but he did go hatchery first. So like coming into main, if this Zealot can get 1 drone, that would be massive. The Dragon not reacting at all. He's occupied with the Zealot at the 3rd. And going for lair right away. And he's actually... I mean, he's actually fine. This lair is faster than the core, so he's ahead on tech. His economy is not terrible. 2 Zealots going to the 3rd. Gonna have to deal with that. Hatchery, whoa. Low on health. 1 Zealot in the main. Dragon very distracted here. This is... He's going for the drones. Drones being pulled away. Oh! Link speed is actually very late. And we had a cancelled lair and a Hydra Den. Yeah, Hydra Den here being added. Hatchery at the 3rd. Very low on HP. Down to 300. Just a lot of pressure. Dragon just barely holding on. Whoa, somehow these zealots are actually... Oh, I think this hatchery might go down. Oh my god. Zealot just arriving now. Can you block it? Can you block it from hitting the hatchery? Hatchery goes down. Holy crap. I think this game is over. What happened there? What the heck? Hydra speed coming. But Dragon just has no production at all. And once the wall gets a sniff that this is Hydra aggression, we should see a ton of cannons being added. It's only 2 hatchery production, so double Stargate. The wall did see Lair, so that's why he thinks it's gonna be a Muta follow-up, and he's just playing like the safest response he would against Lair. Double Stargate, cannons being added. These are anti-muta cannons. Maybe, I mean just maybe, Corsair is gonna come out and see the Hydras as they're attacking. Losing this order would actually be huge. You can't make more units if these blocked. No. Overlord goes down. Alright, so we have 8 Hydras. Okay, maybe there's a chance here. Maybe there's a chance here. Really want to snipe the gateway right away and then start... I mean, you got to stay out of cannon range. Can't lose any Hydras at all. These cannons are very far back, so you can actually hit more. This third cannon is actually going to help out. This is actually very slow, though. The lings are what's key here. If he can dive on the cannons, while cutting probes, cutting everything, he needs to get these cannons up. And here we go. The links come in. Hydra hitting the zealots. Nice probe drill from their wall. And looks like he's just barely gonna hold on. All the zealots go down. There's still Hydras left, but these probes are. It's about 12 probes here. Cannons are allowed to finish. And there's the GG. Again, he lost that third hatchery, and with that, unfortunately, Canada loses. Canada loses. So we're gonna have USA against Russia next week, and tomorrow, tune in. We're still gonna have another match tomorrow. It's gonna be in Spanish. It's gonna be Europe against Sweden. So tune into that. Winner will go up against Poland. And, well, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. See you all again tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit earlier. It's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern. And see you all then. Have a good one.
Si te gustó este video, no olvides darle like. Y si aún eres nuevo y aún no te suscribes, te invitamos a hacerlo y a darle clic a la campanita. Recuerda que todos los días viernes estaremos subiendo nuevas guías y nuevo material, todo en relación con Starcraft remasterizado. Hasta la próxima, amigos.